Hey, I'm Dr. Joe with Barefoot Rehab, New Jersey's only upper body soft tissue specialist. Being an upper body soft tissue specialist, I deal predominantly in adhesion. What? Adhesion is the most common cause of chronic pain, and today we're going to connect the dots between tinnitus, which is ringing in your ears, and jaw pain, which may be caused by adhesion. So what is this adhesion thing that I'm talking about? Your muscle is like a raw piece of steak. It's supposed to be flexible, it's supposed to be strong. Adhesion is this glue that builds up within the muscle, causing the muscles to become weak and causing the muscles to become tight. Now guess what? This can happen anywhere in your body where you have a muscle, and that includes your jaw. So before we discuss how your jaw can be causing the tinnitus or ringing in your ears, let's first be very clear. There are many types of tinnitus, and some types of tinnitus can cause hearing loss. We're not talking about that. We're discussing somatic tinnitus. Somatic meaning it's arising from muscles or joints. So with that being said, if you think about the location of our jaw is right here, and our ear is right there. So when we are chewing, or this joint, our temporal mandibular joint becomes inflamed, that inflammation can cause irritation and can affect the ear. There's also a connection between the ligament of the jaw that inserts into the middle part of our ear. So if our jaw or the joint of our jaw becomes inflamed or dysfunctional, it can affect the way that our ear is working. So let's review the anatomy of our jaw very quickly. So right here we have a muscle called the masseter. There's two branches of it. There's a deep layer and a superficial layer, meaning you can feel this on yourself. If we remove this muscle right here is called the temporalis muscle, and this actually attaches right to your mandible or your jaw. In this picture here, you have a really good visualization of this is where the jaw or the TMJ joint is, and this canal right here is where your ear is. And as we move a little bit more into the face and around the joint right here, these are muscles, again, involved in mastication. So these are your lateral pterygoids. And again, they directly connect to the joint line. And this is as if we're looking inside of the face. And right here, this is your medial pterygoid muscle. And what's very interesting about this is right up here, this is the joint of your jaw. And right behind it, you have this little nerve right here. And this is called the auricular temporal nerve. So this is a nerve that innervates your temple here and some of your ear. So you can see if there's tension or adhesion and this muscle is not working correctly, as well as this joint not working correctly, it can start to irritate this nerve, and this nerve can start to cause some type of ringing in your ear as well. So let's start to connect these dots a little bit. Adhesion is this glue that lives within the muscles, and this can happen anywhere in the body. So now you are chewing a lot of steak, or your jaw starts to bother you, and you start to overuse these muscles in your jaw. So what happens, this adhesion stuff starts to lay down within the muscles that we just went over. It can be in your temporalis muscle here, it can be in your masseter muscle here, it can be deep in your mouth on a muscle called the pterygoid. Over time, this adhesion stays there, and your range of motion or your ability to open your mouth starts to decrease. Or when you do open your mouth wide, like this, you start to get a crunch or a pop. And then next thing you know, you start to get this ringing in your ear. So what we do at Barefoot Rehab is by removing the adhesion in the muscles that's built up in the jaw, it allows your mouth to open up widely. Not only that, it puts less pressure on your TMJ. By taking pressure off of the temporal mandibular joint, there'll be less pressure on the tissues around the ear. This can help to decrease the somatic tinnitus or the muscular causing tinnitus that you may be experiencing. So there is one more thing we need to talk about when talking about jaw dysfunction and tinnitus, or somatic tinnitus, which is ringing in your ears. And it's kind of a purple elephant that sits in the corner, and it's stress management. We found that a lot of people who suffer from TMJ and or tinnitus, a question that I always ask them is, do you feel heard? And that might not be your most conventional question, and people ask me, why do you ask me that question? And it's simply because statistics have shown that people who are not able to articulate truly how they feel, or they are unable to express themselves freely, what do we do as people of society? We have to close our mouths. We end up not being able to articulate ourselves, and we need to keep our mouths shut. When our mouths are shut and we don't want them to be shut, we tend to bite down. And when we're biting down, guess what? We're engaging our muscles of our jaw. Doing this for long periods of time, guess what? You're gonna form adhesion in the muscles of your jaw. So it's very important to, when you are suffering from TMJ and or tinnitus, you simply ask yourself, am I stressed out? Am I able to articulate myself to the point where I feel like I'm actually being heard? It's one thing to speak, it's another thing to be heard. And with 95% of my TMJ patients, there is an emotional component to it, to treating the TMJ. This is our patient Jay. He came to the office because he has ringing in both his ears and he has pain in his jaw on both sides. He also suffers from headaches, and this is what treatment with Jay looks like.
I'm a longtime sufferer of TMJ, which is jaw pain. So I've had tightness in my jaw for a long time. I also have tinnitus, which is ringing in my ears, and Barefoot had a little bit of ideas that there might be, some possibility of improving it because the jaw and the ear are so connected. So I've had a high-pitched tinnitus in both ears for about 15 years, and then in the last probably 6 to 8 months, I've gotten like a whooshing noise in my right ear only. I think for me, I have a lot of chronic stress issues, which is not uncommon, and it just all goes to my jaw. It's like some people carry it in their back, like I carry it here, and so it can cause me headaches if I'm not careful, but it also just causes a lot of tension, and the muscles in my face are just held really tight. So I probably am not the most extreme case in the world, but it was kind of just a source of low-level discomfort always. I'd say the discomfort was probably at like a 5 or 6 when I came in. I'd say now it's probably like a 1.
If you feel like you're starting to have some of these symptoms, but not all of them, here's a really helpful technique that you can do to help try to decrease them. So here's what you're going to do. Your top 2 teeth are going to rest on your bottom 2 teeth with your jaw nice and relaxed. The tip of your tongue is going to be on the back side, all the way at the top of your front 2 teeth. You're going to hold this position for at least 30 seconds, trying to relax all of your facial muscles. It might feel a little bit weird at first, but really what you're doing is you're alleviating all the stress in your jaw, you're taking nice natural deep breaths, and you're also relaxing your upper back and neck. So if you've been suffering with TMJ, or you have somatic tinnitus, which is non-hearing loss ringing in your ears, what you need to do is you need to find an adhesion removal specialist like us here in Denville, New Jersey. I'd love to talk with you. I'd love to help you. Give us a comment below or give our office a call, and hopefully we can get you out of pain.